Hello and welcome everybody to my first video actually on getting your life's mission. Alright, at first I had one mission for a long time, and that was helping as many people as possible engage in the magical world of theater. Why was that my mission? Because I'm engaged in theater fields for a long time now, for over 6 years or so, and finished school to be an actor, my first theater school, then also started a bachelor in theater education, got kicked out of that one because it was not a fit within me, the people and the school. So yeah, it can happen. And now, of course, still being engaged in the field of theater, it's always been a part of my life in that way. So that was my first mission. Now it's not. Yeah, still being engaged in theater, it's not my mission anymore. Why? Because I'm doing more things right now. I'm making this video, writing articles. I'm also engaged in the sales field right now. And I would really like to coach people at some point, you know? So that's not only theater anymore. So now I have a new mission. My mission is help as many people as possible to express themselves. Well, how did I get to that mission? We will come to that in this video. My name is Job Baltes. Welcome. And let's dive into it. Like I said, I will give you some insights on creating your life's mission. But first, why is it important to have a life's mission or to have a why? Because your life's mission is just a form of your own why. Why is it important? Well, when I did not have a life's mission or a why, when I was missing my why, I had a lot of talking and no action. It was all just, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and everything within that. But when the time came, it just was talking and no action, because there was no why supporting the action. So why should you do things then? Because you have no reason for it. Also, a lot of complaining and no solution-based thinking. When you do not know why you do things, you have a reason to complain and no reason to get a solution. So if you get this within yourself, or if you recognize this yourself, just think.
Goedemorgen.
Good
Hoe kan ik
morning.
je van dienst zijn?
Well, thank you, Siri. A lot of complaining and no solution. Well, if you do not have a why, then you have every reason to complain, because you do not know why you're doing it. So if you do not know why you're doing something, it's less fun. It's less fun and it feels maybe a bit empty. I had this within my second theater school, the Bachelor of Theater Education, where we had to do a lot of things that just did not make sense to me. And I started complaining more and just going against the teachers, because I was like, yeah, why do I need to do this? And I know a lot of people in school in general have this, because you don't know why you're doing it. It's empty and it's of course not fun to do, but you also see no reason for doing it. So you can complain about it, but why should you come to a solution? Of course it makes it easier if you have a solution. You have no reason to, because you do not have a why. Another thing, when I did not have a mission, when I did not have my why, a lot of blaming and pointing fingers, except at yourself. You know why? A lot of blaming and pointing fingers except at yourself? Again, you have no reason to. If you have your own why and your own mission, you have a reason to point a finger at yourself, because you need to be responsible for your own results. And if you do not have a why, you do not have a reason to be responsible for your own results. So it's easy to point fingers. Of course it's easy to point fingers. And that's why a lot of people do it, because they have no why, they don't know why they do things, they do not have a mission, and probably they lack fulfillment. So it's easier to blame than take responsibility and do something. Also, I had a lot of bad habits, you know, when I did not have a why, because when you do not have a why, you're just going more through the motions. And when you're going more through the motions, yeah, why should you enjoy? So I had a lot of bad habits, smoking weed and drinking alcohol. It's suppressing something. And if you do not have a reason, you have every reason to suppress. A lot of laying in bed long times, a lot of, actually what I just said, a lot of complaining, no solutions, a lot of talking, no actions, and a lot of blaming and pointing fingers except at yourself, taking responsibility for the things you do. Things do not matter that much when you're missing your why. The thing is, when you miss your why, you have no intrinsic motivation. everything needs to come from external factors. The money you get when you do your job, the numbers you get when you do a test really well and studied really hard. You're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for external factors. And when you do things for external factors, it's always less effective and you get less fulfillment out of it. Just a short dopamine kick from getting the results you want for a short time, and then it's over. Then when you have a why, when you have a life's mission, you can truly start building yourself. Since I have my why, I started building myself also. I started meditating, I started going to the gym more often, I started watching what I'm eating. Garbage in is garbage out. If you eat shit, if you sleep shit, if you do not exercise, well, of course you're gonna feel shit. When you watch what you eat, you have more energy. When you sleep well, you have more energy. When you exercise, you have more energy because your body is more fit. So I started taking better care of myself because I had a reason to. If I'm taking better care of myself, I can better fulfill my mission and I can better fulfill my why. I also started to raise my standards, because to be honest, I never ironed my clothes before, only when I really needed to, when you go to a party or a wedding or whatsoever. And now I iron my clothes all the time. Why? Because I raised my standard. If you have a mission, you also have the responsibility to raise your standard for yourself within the intrinsic motivation. Get that? Also, you can handle more stress, you can handle more tasks. Again, for the same reason, you know why you're doing what you're doing. If you know why you're doing what you're doing, then everything becomes easier. You do it for yourself and for your mission. Also, I feel way more happier most of the times because I'm doing what I like to do and I'm fulfilling my own mission with it. You feel way happier if you have your why. You have way more energy. If you like what you do, if you know why you do something, if you are intrinsically motivated, of course you have more energy. It's only logical that you have more energy when you like to do what you do and also have a purpose for why you're doing it. Those are the things I experienced myself since I have a mission. It's also easier to get out of your comfort zone actually, because again, you know why you do things. How do you create your why? Well, first, go back and think about what you really like to do. It's just that easy. If you really like dancing, write it down. If you like theater, write it down. If you like making music, write it down. If you like talking to people, write it down. Everything you like, make a big list out of it and write it down. Then, second, go back to the essence, the roots of what you like to do. If you go back to the essence of what you like to do, you get to why you do what you do. For example, if you like to talk to people, why do you like to talk to people? You like to talk to people because then you learn more about them and about life because they will transfer their energy into you and you can gain that knowledge. Or you like to talk to people because you do not like to be alone. If you do not like to be alone, then you also know you do not need to do something that you're alone a lot. So maybe working in teams or something like that is more for you. So go to the core, go to the essence of why you like to do something. For another example, in my case, I like theater. Why do I like theater? I like theater. Actually, I love theater because it's amazing. Why do I love it? It's because theater was the first place where I experienced that I could be myself and get not judged for it or something. And because theater was the first place that I thought I could be myself in, it's also the first place where I could express myself. During middle school that I started engaging in theater. So that's the time where everybody got insecure and in their own head. And that's also what I did as a teenager, of course. And then I got engaged in theater and I could express myself there and did not get judged for it. So that's why I started falling in love with the art. That's my why. When I go back to the essence, everything I did in my entire life was within a form of expression. Going outside, when I go outside, I want to build. Why do I want to build? Because I like to create. Why do I like to create? Well, creating is a form of expression. There you go. So when I was a little kid, I like to build fortresses. I like to build sandcastles. I like to build weapons with sticks. I was always building stuff. When I got a bit older, I like to draw. I liked to also build stuff like swords or... So yeah, I've been always creating stuff. Then again, when I got a bit older, I started engaging in theater. I started to play guitar. I started to create plays and write stuff down. And again, creating, expressing. It's always been about expressing. And that's what I mean by go back to the essence, the roots of why you like to do what you do. Think of what talents you have or have developed. I was engaged in theater. I got good at improvising, got a creative way of thinking. Now I can talk really easily. Now I can stand in front of a crowd. I have way more people skills. That's those things I developed within theater, teaching theater. And what I learned with that is connecting dots. When you only have the knowledge, you still need to connect the dots to teach it because you need to understand it. So that's what I learned within teaching, investing in the stock market, where I got way more analytical because you need to read all the candlestick patterns and everything within that, and also gaining knowledge, studying, improving myself. Those are things that during the way of life I developed and are fun to me and things I'm good at. And now I'm engaging in the world of sales. Again, communicating. Again, psychological knowledge you need. Yeah, again, the way you speak, the tonality you use, everything within that, it's all sales. So that's the thing. Think of the talents you have and go back to the essence of it. And if you got both, you have the things you really like to do, and if you have the essence of what you like to do, and also have a list of things you're good at, the talents you created or developed within the years, then you can go to number 4, put them together and look at it from the bigger perspective. It's only logical that I do something with expression because everything I did all my life is within the field of expression. It's only logical that I help people because when I teach, I get fulfillment. I like to help just in general. So it's only logical. When you connect the dots, if you put everything in a bigger picture, it becomes really logical who you are and why you do what you do and why you have the talent you have. If you have the complete picture of that and connected all the dots, then you can squeeze it all together in one sentence, and that one sentence is your life's mission. You can first start with writing everything down and writing everything out and writing a big persona of yourself with all the knowledge you gained through this exercise and through those steps. Just at the end, squeeze it all into one sentence. Help as many people as possible express themselves. That's why I'm making this video, so you can get your life's mission, so you can express yourself from that. If you need any help with that, you can always send me a DM on Instagram. I will put a link to that somewhere below here. If you know what you're doing, it becomes logical why there's a woman staring at me from another window. It's weird. Waving. Hello. She's staring at me. It's weird. I think that's it for now. If you gained knowledge from this video, if this video was of value, I would like it if you subscribe to it, if you give it a like. You can also read my article about creating your life's mission in 5 steps, where I go a bit deeper in the materials than this video, or maybe both. You can gain something from this video and reading the article. I will drop the link to the article below. And like I said, go create your mission, I would say, and have a nice, blessed day. Ciao.